2015 Chevy Equinox in the shop here. Had a bad rear main seal leak, and I have a feeling it started leaking because she ran the motor out of oil, and the seal dried out because it just started leaking after that happened. Actually, she ran it out of oil, and she ran it out of oil so bad that the timing chain tensioner let go and the timing chain jumped. So it was in here a couple of weeks ago, and I put a new timing chain in it, new timing chain guides, tensioner, everything. And actually it didn't bend the valves, which she got really lucky on, so that got it running. We did an oil change on it. She drove it for a couple of weeks. She come back with an oil leak, and the rear main seal was it was leaking real bad. So I'm thinking that her running it out of oil not only caused the timing chain to jump when the tensioner lost oil pressure, but it also wrecked the rear main seal. So I just did the rear main seal on it, getting it back together, but I pulled the intake manifold off because there's a fix for this, for the oil consumption on these motors. 2004, this is a 15, I think, 2.4 liter. The intake manifold will plug up. This is the crankcase vent hole right here in the intake manifold. That hole was plugged solid. The intake manifold, or the air box there when I took it off, was full of water. So there's no, the thing is not, like, the positive crankcase vent is just not venting. So the fix for that is I just take a 1/8 drill bit, clean out that hole, and blow it out, and that fixes the oil consumption on these vehicles. Now there may be other reasons why an engine will use oil. That, it could be the rings are seized or the rings are worn out in the pistons. It could be internal engine issues too. But this one runs really nice, makes no noise, which is surprising considering she ran it out of oil. But so I figured while I got the motor out, doing the rear main seal, it's pretty easy to get the intake off. So that is the issue with these. This is the second one I've done now, just in the last 2 weeks. The other one was a little Chevy, same motor. She said it was going through, what did she say, 3 liters of oil a week, and it wasn't smoking and it wasn't leaking. That's the thing. The intake manifold retains all the oil. It all just sits in here, and it doesn't burn it. It just sits in the manifold. So you think, where's the oil going? Customer says she had no idea. She says, well, the thing doesn't burn oil. It's not smoking and it's not leaking. But in this case, it was leaking, but not smoking. So now this is the crankcase vent hole here, so I'm just going to blow that out, make sure that's not plugged. And then blow this out, blow all the intake, that, whatever you call that thing, the air intake manifold, or I don't know what that would be called, air filter housing. Blow all the water out of that, and then put it back on and put this motor back in here. So if you guys are having issues with your Chevy 2.4 using lots of oil, that is one fix. And I know it works because the lady with the other car, she drove it for 2 weeks, checked the oil, said it was still full, no issues at all. So it does fix the oil consumption issue if that is your only problem. Like I say, if the engine's worn out or if it's got bad rings or whatnot, you may have other issues, but that is just the most common thing on these. That stupid little hole there plugs up. So good luck with yours.